I play a lot of Overwatch 2 from time to time, and hearing about the PvE situation is incredibly disheartening as a player because it shows that Blizzard is even more unreliable than typically people think. I mean, personally, I don't really like Blizzard all that much because I don't like the business practice of having literally everything locked behind so many walls of microtransactions. And this is also coming from a guy that plays a lot of TF2, or did. So I'm used to it, but the way that they did it, I would honestly prefer loot boxes than what they're doing currently. But mainly going back to PvE, I at first thought that the PvE situation was unfortunate, but I was like, who would really want to play PvE on Overwatch 2, really? Like, I was like, we probably missed a bullet here. We dodged something big. Like, it was probably going to be bad anyway if they're just going to use the baseline Overwatch 2 mechanics, and it's just going to be the basic gameplay, but it's kind of PvE with like AI bots and so on. It's not going to be very fun. You're going to be on the same maps and everything. And then I didn't know about this. I had thought that the most we knew about PvE was that it was just coming and that was it, and maybe some screenshots. But I then saw the gameplay and then I was like, oh my god, this was going to be awesome. And then I got even more disappointed and angry. There was all these skill trees, all these like things with lore and so on that was going to be revealed through PvE, and an ongoing story that was essentially a story mode to expand more of the universe of Overwatch 2, and they entirely scrap it. That is baffling to me that they would even think about doing something like that. I mean, going to something like TF2 has Man vs. Machine. And Man vs. Machine isn't incredibly story heavy. Like, yeah, there's story there, and obviously there's the cinematics, but we've all seen how fun that can be. And something like that, but for Overwatch, brings a lot of longevity to the span of Overwatch 2. And given the idea that there's going to be lore and all sorts of character development and unique ways to play, different skill trees, different maps, different like enemies to face off, and a constant cycle of new content for PvE, seeing as how releasing Overwatch 2 was primarily for PvE anyway, it's incredibly dishonest and also incredibly disheartening just as a player to hear that this is what's going on anyway. Like, they promised something and now it's never going to come anyway. Like, how often do we know if they promise something in the future and it just never gets delivered on? We can't have that faith anymore. And also the fact that they say that there's never going to be something like PvE, period, because they just couldn't get it to work, despite the fact we've seen gameplay of people that isn't like scripted or anything playing it. I honestly just don't buy it, and instead I feel like they just want to get more money and just keep milking the new release by having new seasons come out. And I am a little bit hopeful that what we get is cool, but it won't be able to repair the wound of PvE. Because now, looking at it, PvE was going to be really, really cool. And it sucks that it won't ever come to fruition. At least that's what it seems will be the case. That's about it, though. Thank you for listening to my rant. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.